Bring in Bitcoin Ben.
Yeah, you'll be in soon enough. Does it look like I'm pretty centered on screen there?
You're a little to the left.
Well,
Just
then you
rotate that.
You gotta turn to the right.
You're gonna move your TV out of the corner. I want to look.
All right.
Jonas, you have a power cord.
No, that one's good. Okay. All right. So
You're
thank
okay.
you guys for coming. Today we're going to be doing a live setup of a Ledger wallet. It's one of the hardware wallets that we sell here in the store, and this is one of the best ways to keep your cryptocurrency safe. If you guys have come to Crypto Coffees before, or even some of the classes we've taught here, you guys know that we really recommend a hardware wallet if you're looking to keep your crypto as safe as possible. So what a hardware wallet does is it keeps the keys to your crypto offline. It's literally not accessible through the internet, which is what makes it so safe. It's not a perfect analogy, but what I like to tell people is keeping your crypto on an exchange is kind of like leaving your keys in your car. Right? It's using the analogy of the key, right? Your key makes your car go, your keys makes your crypto move. So keeping your keys in the car, so to say, is when you keep your crypto on exchange. Keeping your keys inside, locked in a chest, buried in the dirt, is like what's having a hardware wallet. So today we're going to go over setting up the Ledger Nano wallet. I already took off the plastic wrap, so I'm not going to worry about that right now. On the inside of the box, first thing you're going to have is your actual Ledger wallet. It looks like a little USB flash drive. So we're just going to pull that right out. Underneath that, you've got your USB power cable that you use to connect it to your laptop or whatever device you're going to be using to set it up. And it also comes with a lanyard. I personally wouldn't wear it around all day, every day, but maybe you would. A couple of lanyards there. And then there's a little setup guide. Inside this little folded envelope, you've got a really basic one-step setup guide, and it actually is just in like 16 different languages. And all it tells you is go to our website. And besides that, you've got these 24-word recovery phrase note cards. And so what this note card does is it has 24 blank spaces, and whenever you actually get your private keys that are generated by the Ledger Nano, or the Ledger, whichever model you get, you can write them down on this piece of paper, and you need to keep this somewhere very, very, very safe. So the quote that we like to give you is what everyone else says online: it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. That's how you should think about ownership. So we'll be using that here in a little bit. Now, the first thing on their step-by-step guide here, one step, go to our website. So we did that. And this is what their website looks like. So the very first thing you're actually going to do is download their program. It's called Ledger Live. And that's actually what allows you to interface with the Ledger wallet on your computer. So I have already downloaded that for everybody's convenience. So I'm going to bring that here.
Is that something you put on an app on your cell phone, or would it?
No, I don't believe you
have
can
to
use
put
on
it
your
on a
cell
laptop.
phone. Yeah, put on your laptop. Yeah, I think you could theoretically connect Ledger to your phone with a special cable, but I'm not sure that you should.
Oh, yeah.
So the Ledger here, it's really cool. It's just like a little flash drive almost. It comes in this little swivel case, and there is a micro USB port on the inside here. So that's what we're going to plug in our power cable to, and then we're going to plug in the USB side to our laptop. So bear with me here.
There is an app for the Ledger.
There is a phone app for Ledger?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
and if you get the Nano S, that's Bluetooth enabled.
Ah, interesting.
Or the X. Yeah, it's X.
Yeah.
Oh, the X. Okay, I was
The
going to
X
say,
is
this is
Bluetooth.
the S. I didn't see anything about a Bluetooth.
No, I'm sorry, it's the X.
Yeah, so for clarity, we're setting up the Ledger Nano S today.
Yes.
And that's the one that they're pumping themselves to. Okay. So we've got it plugged in, and the Ledger actually has a little tiny screen on here, and right now it's saying "Welcome to Ledger Inputs." So click Get Started. So there's terms of service. We won't read those right now. We're going with the Nano S. I'm going to double sure. Yep, Nano S. Okay. So this is our first time setting up the new Ledger Nano S. It's not like we've already set one up and we're trying to do any kind of recovery. Okay, so this is actually going to go through and teach you kind of the basics of what a hardware wallet is, what keys are. So own your private key. Your private key is stored within your Nano. You must be the only one to own it to be in control of your money. If you were to give this Ledger Nano to somebody else, then technically they're now the owners of whatever's on it. Stay offline. This is what I was saying earlier. Your Nano works as a cold storage wallet. This means that it never exposes your private key online, even when using the app. And validate transactions. So Ledger Live, the program that we're running right now, allows you to buy, sell, manage, exchange, and earn crypto while remaining protected. You'll validate every single crypto transaction that you perform with your Nano. So let's do this. Plan 30 minutes to take your time. Oh man, you guys are going to be here for a while. Grab a pen. Somebody toss me a pen.
Hey, got a question for you. How does the Nano Ledger you got there compare with the Valet wallets that are on the counter?
Ooh, great question. Jeff, you want to answer that?
Well, so the Valet wallets are meant for people that are really new into crypto.
Yeah.
The issue with the Valet is it has pre-generated words, I guess, within the Valet wallet.
So this is the Valet wallet. For
Yeah,
you
so-
curious.
People that are really new to it, or people that want to give it away as gifts, is something maybe the Valet wallet is good for. But somebody that's been in it in a while that has thousands and thousands of dollars worth of crypto, probably don't want to recommend the Valet wallet just because of the security aspect. Because some folks think that hey, if a company has these pre-generated codes, right? Yeah, they may have access to down the road. Valet is so big, I don't think they will do that, but that's kind of the downside with Valet. Okay. But for gifts, $20, $100, somebody wants to get started, they're perfect because they're like half the price of the Ledger. Yeah. So that's kind of for those the main difference.
So that's what you were giving out at the school?
Yeah, so I was handing out Valet wallets to the schools, or the high school students, just to get them intrigued, get them, asking questions, and to have them go through the process themselves to figure out how much is in this wallet, how do I convert it to fiat or another coin, so forth. But yeah, so that's kind of.
And would both of these work with your ATM you got out front here?
Yeah. So the Valet, it's a QR code, so all you do is scan it, put on there. You don't even need to open the wallet. It's the QR code is right there. Yeah.
So the first thing the Ledger Nano is telling me to do, we're actually just going to learn how to navigate on here. There's only two buttons on the Ledger Nano S. There's a left and a right button. So you just start clicking and it tells you press left or right button to navigate. Press both buttons to validate. So to select, or say yes, you click both buttons at the same time. So we are going to set up as a new device. And that's the first prompt that it gives me. I'm going to select yes. Now I'm going to choose a pin. So come back here to the start. Go to the next step. So setting up as a new device. So your pin is the first layer of security for your Ledger Nano. You've got your pin, and that's going to be the first thing that allows you to get into it and move things around. And after that, you're going to validate things. So I'm going to move my screen back over here and come up with a pin that is 4 to 8 digits long. So press the left or right buttons on your Ledger Nano to change the digits. So you're actually going to bear with me while I plow through this really quick.
is this PIN the equivalent of essentially just unlocking your cell phone at this point?
Exactly.
You're not actually doing anything. This just gives you access to do something with the device.
Right.
So does that give you access to all the Bitcoin that's on there?
The pen? No, that just gets you into the ledger. We'll cut it for now. Alright, so now that I've set the pin, I have to confirm it.
Better write those numbers down.
Right.
You can tell us.
I consider doing everything on the screen at first, only because then like everybody can see it. But then I was like, man, that actually reset the entire wallet. It's useless at that point.
But then he has.
Okay, so now that I've got my pen generated, it's going to generate 24 words. And unfortunately, this is also going to take time because now I have to write them all down. But this is your recovery phrase, and this is your backup to your wallet. So technically, if you lose this device, but you've still got your recovery phrase, your 24 words somewhere else, you can recover all of the assets that were stored in this wallet, right? Like this is one of the first kind of misconceptions is people think like, oh, my Bitcoins are actually in here. They're not. This is storing your private keys to access those Bitcoins on the blockchain.
So it's telling you what the words are going to be?
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
they're all going to pop up on here, and I have to one by one write them all down.
It's kind of like you might own your house, but the ownership instrument isn't your house. It's a deed filed at the county courthouse. So
And
your ownership.
you want to
is
tell the
sort
story,
of
Jeff,
out of your
while
house.
I'm
Yeah.
doing this?
Yeah.
Tell the story of the guy who came in to set up his Ledger Nano and wrote like one of his words down wrong in the wrong order. Uh-oh. You remember that? Yeah. Just talk while I'm doing this.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to think about that story. I guess tell a joke. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, basically, so the difference between this Ballet wallet and the Ledger Nano is a Ballet wallet is like super simple, right? As you can tell, the Ledger Nano, it's a little more complicated, but it's going to be more secure. So that's why we tell folks that getting started for somebody that's new, doing this might scare them, right? So doing this might get them engaged more and getting them asking questions. Yep.
So can a novice start out with a simple version like that and then ultimately migrate that into a more complicated version?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's why I tell folks if you're doing $20 to $100, to a couple $100, these are perfect because like last Christmas, even for the employees here, I was getting these out, preloaded with Bitcoin for Christmas, and I have a goddaughter that I basically gave her a couple $100 worth of Bitcoin for during the baptism, right? So these are perfect for that because otherwise the Ledger Nanos and the Trezors, they're a little more complicated, so it might scare some folks. But so it has its utility. I know there's some Bitcoin maxis that are just like, hate this. I posted my video of me going to a high school and handing these out, and I got so much like negative flack from the Bitcoin maxis, like that you shouldn't be introducing that to folks. It's wrong that you're talking about that. It's like they're missing the point because my point was just to try to get folks in high school to be excited about something and then do their own research, right? And then they'll figure out like, hey, maybe this isn't the best for me. Maybe this is, once I start accumulating a lot of crypto.
In the interest of giving Jonas here some more time to write his phrase down, would you mind explaining who a Bitcoin maxi is and why they were so upset?
Who a Bitcoin? Well, it wasn't one individual. It was, It was
several.
So I posted the video on a Reddit thread that was a Bitcoin thread, right?
Yeah.
So it has 100,000 followers, probably more. And I just posted the video of me just going to the high school. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, but it was just it's like a 2-minute video of me and Jonas going to high school and handing these out to high school students and explaining to them what was in the wallet. And you know, I mean, it became, and I would say only about 5% of the group that said something. Usually the people that have something negative to say are the ones that are posting something negative, right? So it's like, but it was one after another. You know, I would say like 20 people were like, oh, it's better that you're not talking to these kids because you're sending them the wrong path of Bitcoin education. And I said I probably spent like 2 minutes talking about the ballet. I didn't tell folks that this is the only thing you should use. I was just explaining what this was and to simplify it for them. So, but it was an experience that I still felt like it was important because we were getting calls from the parents and high school students that the teacher that the kids were engaged, they loved it, they wanted us to come back again. And now I'm getting other high schools that want us to do something similar. And the main reason we use the ballet is because one, it was donated to us, right? So it helps with the cost. It's something that we're doing for free to try to help educate the community. So if Ledger wants to send me, 100 Ledger wallets, I'd love to be able to preload Bitcoin in it and hand that out. But right now the Ledgers are like $80 to $120, where these are maybe 30, right? So 30 and $40, so they're much cheaper. But we're looking at other different wallets to be able to hand out. We're not Ballet Wallet Maxis. We're not just like promoting. They didn't pay us to promote them. They just basically just gave us some for free. But yeah, that was the idea of it. We're also going to be, for our nonprofit, one of the things that we want to do is help out the unbankable, the unbanked. Surprisingly, even though U.S. is the richest country in the world, there's 4 to 5 million people that don't have bank accounts, and for many reasons. So we want to be able to go to the inner cities and also educate them on Bitcoin and also hand out wallets to them too. It's probably going to be a cheap wallet like Ballet. So if you're a Bitcoin maxi, I'm sorry, but that's just what we're going to do to start out with and then move on from there.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a great idea.
Kevin.
Can you talk more about the importance of the words that Jonas is writing down here, or the difference between your words and your private key that's on the ledger? Or what the difference is, or how you would use them differently, I guess, or why are there both of them, maybe, or anything like that?
Words and private keys.
That is your private key.
Well, the words establish your private key. Based on the words, there's an algorithm that comes up with your private keys.
Right.
Based on the words, these are very unique private keys that no one else would have.
So it's a seed for an encryption key.
It's a seed for an encryption key. So that encryption key is going to be on every single coin that is supported by Ledger. So if you have a Bitcoin app, the private key will be on there based on those words. So if you lose your thing and you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, all your private keys are going to be on that one ledger.
So does the ledger support multiple keys for different kinds of
Yeah. So the seed words generate the keys. Your PIN lets you get into the ledger to get it. And then you'd have a full menu of different coins that would be on there depending upon which apps you install on the ledger.
Oh, okay.
So like I have the Ethereum and Bitcoin on one, and it's the same PIN for both of them, and it's on Ledger Live. And there's a lot of coins that aren't on Ledger Live, but you still can generate private keys. So like Cardano is not on Ledger Live. However, I use their web wallet, sign in, and with my private Cardano keys, I can access my account.
Okay.
All right, so I finally finished getting those 24 words written down and also confirmed. So the next thing that your wallet does is it takes you through word by word, and it says, okay, what is word number 1? And it tosses you up like 4 or 5 options, and you have to click through and select what word number 1 was. So you definitely have to write it down. We do have a couple of guys who have told us that they know people who are working to memorize all 24 words. And I guess that's great. I wouldn't rely on that, but more power to you. So I got that all finished, and it's telling me, hey, write that down on paper, keep it in a secure place. If it's lost or stolen or forgotten, all of your assets will be irredeemably lost. Now, this is something else very important. You should never share this with anybody. Never share this with anybody. If you go on Reddit and say, hey, I'm a guy who can double your Bitcoin. Just give me your 24 words so I can send you double however much Bitcoin you send me. You're not going to be getting anything.
Perhaps maybe in your trust or will.
Right. So the Ledger, too, will never ask you for your 24 words. If you get an email from ledger.com that says, hey, there seems to be a problem with your Ledger, type in your 24 words and we'll fix it for you. That's not how it works. So I've got this Ledger now fully set up, processing something.
So did you pick the 24 words?
No. So it randomly generates them, and then I have to go through and confirm after I have them.
Are they English words or are they just random letters?
No, it's English words.
Okay.
And it's labeled like number 1, number 2, so that you write them down in the correct order.
Correct.
That's the most important thing.
All right. So actually, here I should have asked the question to the audience. It's giving me a quiz now. So now that I've got my Ledger Nano set up, and once I put some crypto on there, where is my crypto stored? On the Nano or on the blockchain? Blockchain. Next
So you
question.
can see the most secure way though would be to store it on the Nano itself.
No, so you actually, your crypto is never
I saw
stored.
you click. No, not the crypto. I mean, you said that you clicked on something, or is that just a quiz?
It was a quiz.
Oh, okay. So it's just part of the quiz. You didn't
weren't
select
picking
anything.
where-
Okay, gotcha.
So next question is, if my recovery phrase is no longer secure or private, no problem, Ledger can send me a copy, or my crypto is no longer safe and I need to transfer them to some secure place.
That one.
Transfer.
The bottom one, yeah. Yeah. If someone finds out what your 24 words are, they're all but compromised. You've got to transfer them somewhere else that is going to be secure.
Hopefully they're there to transfer.
Right. Yeah, that's not too bad. Last question. When I connect my Nano to the Ledger app, my private key is still offline or briefly connected to the internet?
Still offline.
So your private key, and it just tells you more expanded answer, your private key always remains offline in your hardware wallet. Even when connected to your Nano, the Ledger app cannot access your private key. You must physically authorize every transaction on your device. So we're good to go. Yep, my computer just now, my laptop recognized the Ledger Nano. We are going to get it connected. So now it's reading the Nano to make sure that it is legitimate. There we go. Oh, that confetti. All right, so now you'd have to add an account. That's pretty easy to do, but you can. To send and to receive, you'll need to add an account. Which do you want me to go through that now, or do you want to have the campaign?
think,
So from there, it's easy as setting up an email account, right? Username, password. And then it's just like using any other wallet. You select what asset you want to receive, pops you up the address. You give that address to whoever is sending you your assets, and you're good to go. So there you are.
Can I ask one?
Yeah.
What if you would have, say I lost my ledger already, and this is my new ledger that I'm buying, and all I have is my 12, 24 words, whatever. What would happen then?
So if you want to know the answer to that, come to next week's Crypto Coffee.
After this info break,
Yeah. No, that's a good question. I obviously haven't gone through that process.
I did.
So.
Well, I did.
Yeah, that's at the beginning.
So the Ledger Nano Pass is the basic one. You can only have 3 or 4 crypto assets. I bought it because it was the cheapest when I first started out. Then as I bought more crypto, I'm like, I need bigger wallets, so I upgraded to the X. And I put my seed phrase from the smaller one, the S, in there. Everything transferred over. So now I have the S as a backup, and I have the X as the one that I primarily use. So if you want to get a starter one, the S is about $40 or $50 cheaper than the X, but you're only going to be able to have 3 or 4 coins on it. With the X, you can have. I have 15 on it, but they're not. It's not full, so that's the difference between the S and the X.
That's a good point, yeah. So before you get any wallet, one thing you want to do is make sure that that wallet can actually hold the assets that you're wanting to put onto it. That's just easy information to find online. You just go to the website. All right, so we got a VIP guest visitor here. Bitcoin Ben is in the house. You guys saw him doing his live stream as he walked in. So go tell everybody your YouTube channel and everything else.
I'm everywhere. Just if you hop on Google or DuckDuckGo, just look up the Bitcoin Ben, and I'm on Roku, Amazon, everywhere. The one thing I did want to talk about, and he kind of actually touched on it, is I also own Calyx Solutions, which is a laptop provider. We handle the one and only crypto-only laptop in existence. And basically, if you're holding a couple $100 worth of crypto, a Ledger S is perfect. If you're holding $1,000, the higher level Ledger, okay. If you're holding $100,000 worth of cryptos, Ledger, Nano, they're great wallets, but they plug into a laptop. The laptop is your link. It is your weakness or your strength of how you access your cryptos. Because if you have a Ledger or a Nano or whatever, and you plug it into a corrupted laptop, that Ledger can be corrupted, and so can a Nano. It's like we all got our wallets, right? Well, right now it works great. I drop it in the toilet and get all of everything in it wet with a bunch of shit on it. It's not going to work so good. The wallet should be a laptop. And our laptops are created solely for cryptos. It actually comes with an education interaction Zoom call on how you use it. So this is not the laptop that you go on Amazon on. This is not the laptop that your son drags into the bathroom. All right. This is your laptop that is solely for your crypto activity. Now, exchanges and like buying cryptos on Coinbase or Binance or whatever platform you use, that's what this laptop's for.
So does the laptop then also replaces the Nano or any other
Yes.
wallet? So you don't plug it into the lab. It is that function.
That's up to you. That would be another level of security if you used an actual Nano or Ledger or whatever, but it wouldn't be needed with the laptop because the laptop you could hold like an Exodus wallet or or run there's several different wallets that you could run on your laptop that unless it's on, it would never touch the internet. And we actually send with it information on how we recommend you don't even hook into Wi-Fi. We actually send you the whole package where you wire it directly into your router. So you got all the wires that come with it. And we have a video on our website that shows you how you hook it into your laptop, plug it into the router, how you work it, and all that. Because as the appreciation of the cryptos grows, I don't know about you, but I feel a little insecure when my security looks like a keychain. I would rather have a solid, full service laptop that literally, if you want, we have a package where you get a laptop, you get a case that's EMP proof. We have the whole package. Because
And that pricing is on your website, I assume.
yes. And how we explain it and why last year, our first year in business, we actually did over $2 million in sales in our first year and only advertised on my show. That's how much this makes sense to everyone who hears it. Because who here has ever owned like silver and coins and stuff like that? Like, and we all probably have a home safe where we keep our paperwork and all that. Would you actually take your safe and put it in your trunk and then drive over to Walmart? No. Then why would you use the exact same laptop that your wife's using for Amazon, that you're getting your regular emails? That's where people get hacked. They get hacked because they click on the wrong link in an email when they're not even dealing with crypto. They just received an email or a text or something, and they clicked on a wrong link. This laptop protects you from that. You have one email address, which is a Proton link we put on here. You have one email address that you use for all of your exchanges. So you know that you're not on a mailing list. You're not on any junk list. And the only emails you're receiving are the legit ones. As this grows and as your wealth grows, you're not going to want $250 or $400 or $500,000. And the only thing keeping it safe is a little plug-in keychain that you plug it in to a corrupted laptop. And that's really it. And we've never had anyone, out of all of the laptops we've sold, we've never had one person lose crypto.
So when you made reference to the cables that plug directly into your router, were you meaning that you don't have to, or you don't need to use Wi-Fi connection?
Right.
Okay, so it's hardwired in, as opposed to
Hardwired.
Wi-Fi where somebody could be sitting out there.
So,
Bingo.
yeah. So it does. So the laptop doesn't even contain a Wi-Fi antenna.
It has one, but we have it unhooked. Unless you tell us that you want Wi-Fi on it, we unhook it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we highly recommend that you do not use Wi-Fi. Because I know it's mostly secure because it's your home Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I don't like mostly.
Yeah.
If I can weed out mostly, I do. So,
How's the LE Palo Titan stack up with the cold storage wallets? Is that good?
yeah, it's
It's called air gap.
yeah, it's still, it may be air gapped, but so is Wi-Fi. That's what air gapped means.
Oh, so it's still on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's just a radio signal instead of a hardwire. A hardwire cannot be infiltrated with a radio signal. A radio signal can be infiltrated by a radio signal. So I recommend you always hardwire because it's one less thing, one less weakness. And as for that, talk with Jeff or any of the other guys here. They have a link for our laptops.
You actually got one on display outside. Too.
Yeah, and
Looks like a laptop.
it looks just like a laptop. We have Apples and we also have regular laptops. You know, highly recommended because I'll tell you what, I have done several one-on-one Zooms, which when you receive your laptop, we schedule you for a one-on-one Zoom call with one of our employees, where they unwrap it with you, they answer questions, they show you, if you have any questions, they're right there for you to help. And the number one thing we hear is, I feel better now that everything is on here. You shut it down, you put it away. When you do more crypto, you pull it out. You open it up, it's, for a fact, it's secure, it's fresh, it's brand new, it's clean, there's no malware, no nothing on it. We've actually set it up where the NSA and all the other little three-letter agency back windows and doors are closed, so that even the government, if they want Windows themselves, cannot get in our laptops. So, highly recommend looking into it, talking to Jeff, and he'll help you out.
So then do you go ahead and advise the people with the routers to lock this down to do back level?
Yeah. Well, that's,
Assuming you got a MAC address on the laptop, right?
yeah, and that's another level. It actually depends on how technical the client is. We walked them through hooking it up to their Wi-Fi. If they want, we also offer a software that actually keeps you untrackable on any exchange. Now, mind you, this laptop does not have auto save or anything like it. It's not as easy to work with as a regular user laptop where it remembers your passwords. It doesn't. We don't want it to remember passwords. That's part of security. You don't want your computer remembering your password, because if it remembers it, someone, if it's just a regular laptop, could get in and pull all that right up. Any questions or anything? All right,
Cool.
that's all I got for you guys.
So a couple of other things we'd like to tell you guys about. First and foremost, before I forget, we've got a few Ledger Nano S's still here in stock. We're going to be getting more soon. But for any of you guys who actually do want to pick one up today, we're going to do 10% off today only. And we might extend that to the Trezors as well. It's a very similar process for setting those up, and Jeff can confirm that. Other events coming up this week. Unfortunately, the NFT event at T-Rex, that was going to be the last Thursday. It was at the 26th. That's been canceled. It's going to be pushed back to June again. The event space is just being really finicky. They're almost impossible to get in touch with, so we're just going to push it back. But our Bitcoin over beer, the following Thursday, or the one before that, that'll be the 19th, I believe, is still on. We're still going to be doing that one. So it's going to be focused on GPU rigs. We're going to do a start-to-finish live setup of a GPU rig for simple mining, similar to how we just did with the Ledger wallet today. And this Thursday is actually going to be our first Patreon exclusive event. So if you guys haven't heard about that, this is a new monthly event that we're going to be doing. It's going to be a little bit more freeform and a smaller crowd size. You have to be a Patreon member of Crypto World to attend. So we verify that at the door, and then it's actually going to be more of a roundtable discussion. Literally, we're going to be pushing these tables together, everybody sitting around, food, drinks, and this is where we're going to be talking about our market sentiments, crypto projects that we have opinions on. You guys can ask us deep details about Crypto World, and it's just going to be an open forum discussion.
Newbie question, what is Patreon?
Patreon is a monthly subscription that your money just goes directly to support us. So if you guys want to learn more about that, actually just scan the QR code or talk to one of us afterwards and we'll show you. But kind of like how you subscribe to the gym, it's just $20 a month or something like that, or if you have a coffee subscription, $20 a month. It's like a $20 donation, if you want to think about it, to Crypto World every month. But there are benefits that you get from that. So I think the same tier that gets you into our Patreon meetup, you also get 15% off all your purchases at Crypto World for merchandise and stuff like that. So that would be a huge help for us if you guys can do that. It's seriously the #1 biggest way that you guys can help us out. Continue providing free education and free community events like this. I think besides that, next week's Crypto Over Coffee, Jeff, can you confirm it's the Crypto IRA group?
Yeah, so they're going to talk about the charitable remainder trust.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you put your crypto in a trust that's tax free for any transactions, this is just an option for folks.
Cool. Yep. So that's kind of the overview of what we've got going on the next coming weeks. Anybody got any questions? All right. Thanks, guys.
Good presentation.